Welcome to the Roundabout. I'm Katiuska Guzman, and with me on my show today is Kelsey Carter, Nadia Cruz, and our guest host, Shane Keating.
Hello.
Today we're covering a few hot topics like feminism in politics, Apple versus FBI in a court case, and how technology affects art. We'll also sit down with Professor Michael Rees to learn a little bit about the newest addition to the Power Arts Center. Later, we'll take it to the streets and find out what students have to think about weird laws in New Jersey. But now, let's dive right into our hot topics. My beautiful panel. So, Gloria Steinem, who is an icon for being a feminist activist, said that it would be anti-feminist to vote for Bernie Sanders over Hillary Clinton. So,
she also said that there was a special place in hell for women that didn't empower other women. Just because I don't want to vote for a woman president does not make me a candidate for hell. I was offended.
I'm safe.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I personally love the Clintons.
yeah, you definitely told me that it's not because she's a woman, but because you
I love the fact that she was the first lady and now she's running, but I'm a Clinton fan. I mean, would I vote for her because she's a woman? Maybe. But I just love her, you know? If it was a Donald Trump version of a woman, no. If that makes any sense.
That's exactly what it comes down to. Donald Trump has not presented himself in a very professional manner when running for president.
Right.
And that's exactly the point. The president should not, it doesn't depend on whether they're a man or a woman, black or white or what have you. It's the quality of their character and how they're going to lead this country.
Exactly.
Amen.
Thank you.
I go with Sanders when he says we should empower men. Men should empower men. Men should empower women. Women should empower men. The whole trying to just empower women, I have a problem with that. That means that we're just going to segregate ourselves and it's just a woman's world. No, it's a both man and woman's world. And that's my issue with these people that are trying to get us to vote for Hillary. Being that aggressive is not going to get my vote.
Speaking of getting the job done, did you guys hear about Apple versus the FBI?
Yes.
Maybe.
Okay, so for you who did it, so Apple is trying to withhold information according to the FBI. You know, when it comes to certain cases, the FBI feel like they should be able to get into the phones and the information.
The San Bernardino shooting.
Exactly.
Okay.
So how do you guys feel about that?
I think that the FBI is already in our business.
Yes.
And Apple is like, okay, calm down. I get it. You want this information. But it's like, don't you guys already have your own way of
finding out?
Yeah, my phone has probably been tapped, and you really don't want to know what goes on in my phone anyway.
No, I
so.
don't.
Well, we're talking about 14 people that died. Do you really think that they shouldn't get into their phone? I think that the phone has valuable information, and perhaps we can see if there's anybody else that we could go talk to. There's somebody else, involved. Is there going to be a future bombing? I think that they need to, I think that they need to let them see what's in this phone.
Well, that kind of leads to a slippery slope sort of situation for Apple, because if they let this one case slide, more cases are going to arise, and suddenly they're going to have to start doing this for more and more and more, and then everybody's privacy is at stake.
And then where draws the line?
There's been
Exactly. Where is the line in the sand?
I feel like there's been a lot of serious instances, and this one is getting singled out, and then it's going towards Apple. We should blah, blah, blah. But what about the bombings in Boston during the marathon? Did they have iPhones? Did they have Android phones? Why can't we figure out how to, it has to be some kind of common.
Exactly. And speaking of phones, do you know what's on phones? Apps.
You know it's on
apps, crazy apps, and one of the most popular, one of my favorites is Instagram. And were you on Instagram when Kim Kardashian dropped that crazy bananas picture of her?
I was on Instagram.
She was in her birthday suit. Oh boy, censored of course because children are watching. But she said something along the, boy, don't you just hate it when you have nothing to wear?
I thought it was cute. I mean, listen.
Sure, it's funny.
I like Kim. I am a Kardashian at heart, and I feel like this is what Kim does. This is how she makes her money, her body. And if I had a body like that, I'd be on Instagram like that too. Sorry.
I personally feel like as a mom, she should we get it, Kim. Your body is nice. You look fabulous, but it's
her moneymaker.
It's not something okay, but would you want your daughter?
She might.
Excuse me. So, as we all know, Michael Rees is coming in today. He's our guest. I'll be interviewing him.
I didn't know that. Sorry.
Well, that brings up a great question. Do you think that art and technology hinders creativity or creates for more creativity?
Definitely more creativity. So speaking of the apps, there was an app a couple years ago. It was like Draw Me or something like that. You can just use your finger and draw. People were getting crazy. Like I was like, dang.
You were on that app often.
I was on it, and it was like I think it was like a game back and forth or something like that. I think that's great for artists.
I don't think it's that. I think it hinders creativity because now you're not using your hands. You're just using a machine to do, let's say for example, like you're using a machine to create something for you. So it doesn't come from your hands, it just comes from your mind. So it hinders what you can do with your hands. I mean, I'm very hands-on. So.
I guess that kind of depends on what thing you are using. Like if you're programming something, an app or anything to draw you something, then yeah, that is hindering creativity. If it's an app that allows you to draw something, then that's like a digital paintbrush, a digital pencil. It's a tool to help you express your creativity.
I agree with Shane. So I was reading up on the grab bag, which is one of Michael Rees' sculptures. And the one that was in New York City, you can actually put in a code into your phone and see an animation, which I thought was great. Before then I was like, I don't know how I feel about it. But you can see it move. And I was like, that kind of gives you more of a sense, like a better understanding of what the artist was doing with, like when they decided to do that whole thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, when we speak to our guest, we should ask him his opinion on the matter since he's a visual arts professor. But when we get back, our producers take to the streets to ask students about some weird New Jersey laws. We'll be right back.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, then the light, water, and all living beings. And finally, on the seventh day, God created WPTV. At least that's what Wikipedia says.
Welcome back to the Roundabout. I'm Kelsey Carter. Our next segment was inspired by one of my recent parking violations. Let's see how William Patterson students do in Awfully Lawful, a test to see what they know about New Jersey's weird laws.
Hi guys, Sherry Goetz here, and today we're going across campus to play a game that I like to call Awfully Lawful, where William Patterson students are going to see if they can figure out the fake laws between all the real laws, even though the real ones are still a little bit crazy. Alrighty, so first up today we have
Ignacio.
Alrighty, Ignacio, can you please tell me between these three laws, which one is fake? Is it A, illegal to pump your own gas? B, is it illegal to wear a bulletproof vest while committing a murder? Or C, is it illegal to let your dog bark at a bobcat or a bear?
I think it's illegal to let your cat bark at a bobcat or dog bark at a bobcat. That will make more sense.
And we're right. Hey, first one, and we got a correct person already. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Alrighty, what's your name?
Alec Brinker.
Okay, Alec. Out of these three laws, could you tell me which one of them is fake? First up, we have it's illegal to frown at a police officer. For the second one, cats must warn birds of their whereabouts by wearing 3 bells at all times. Or the third one, it's illegal to bowl on the sidewalk.
Ooh. Well, I'm gonna go with B.
B, you think it's illegal? It is illegal for cats to not wear bells.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my friend, you were wrong. It's actually illegal if you want to bowl on the sidewalk anytime soon. You got to go to the alley.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking that one too.
Next up, we have
Jared Farah.
Okay, Jared. So please tell me, out of the three, which one is the one that is the fake law? Okay. All right. Is it A, it's illegal to delay or detain a homing pigeon? Is it B, it's illegal for a car to pass a horse-drawn carriage? Or is it C, you're not allowed to shoot anything out of a moving car unless you're shooting at a whale?
I'm going to say A is the lie.
I'm sorry, my friend. It is actually C. C is a lie. You can...
It would have been a logical one, but I thought I was trying to get tricked.
I'm sorry, we're not trying to trick you here. So now we're here with my friend.
Steve.
Alrighty, Steve, can you please tell me, out of these three laws, which one is the fake one, okay? Alrighty, is it A, it's illegal to pump your own gas? Is it B, that it's illegal to wear a bulletproof vest while committing a murder? Or is it C, it is actually illegal to let a dog bark at a bear or a bobcat?
I feel like that would vary from state to state, but I'm going to go with C.
Oh, and you're right, too. It is C. C is the fake one. Could you please tell me your name?
Katelyn Pippin.
Okay, Katelyn. Out of these 3 laws, which one is the fake one, the one that's not real? Is it A, that it's illegal to slurp your soup? Is it B, that it's illegal to frown at police officers? Or is it C, that it's illegal to let a dog bark at a bobcat or a bear?
I'm gonna go with A.
A, that it's illegal to slurp your soup?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, no, it's not. It is illegal to slurp your soup. What it is illegal, or which is legal, is actually you can just let your dog bark at a bear or a bobcat and then let it get attacked.
Okay then.
All right, William Patterson, that's all for Awfully Lawful. I'm Sherry Goetz, and back to you at the Roundabout.
So, okay, weird, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so did you guys know that it's against the law for a man to knit during fishing season?
Oh my God, how? When
I
is
mean, but
fishing
like
season?
while you're waiting for the fish, can't you just knit you up a sweater really quick?
All of
you
your
know?
concentration should be going to getting this food.
Yeah.
And did you know that when you get a ticket, you're supposed to smile because it's illegal to frown at a police officer?
Oh my goodness.
How about
boy.
it's illegal to wear a bulletproof vest while committing a murder? Like if I'm committing a
the murder
murder,
is already.
I need to be protected.
Like I guess the murder is just a misdemeanor. The bulletproof vest makes it a full-on felony.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know, that's
the
weird.
crazy one that I've heard was, while you're eating soup, you cannot slurp.
That should be a law everywhere.
Oh, that annoys you, but they
That's
burn
a petty
your
thing.
tongue. Like, what?
Oh,
Like, as
so-
long
You
as
gotta blow it.
Blow
Wait.
Believe this, it does not. It applies to animals too. Listen to this. Now, if you have a cat, it better have 3 bells because cats need to wear 3 bells in order to warn birds.
Oh,
because you know that
Jingle
Tweety and
bells.
Sylvester thing keeps happening. So
Oh yeah, well the cats just get hurt if that's the case. So.
Well, how
who cares?
about all motorists must honk before passing another car, a bicyclist, skater, and even a skateboarder? Well, that should be different.
That's not so bad in comparison to the other ones.
well, speaking of motorists, if you ever get caught driving drunk, you can no longer get personalized license plate.
what if you have the person?
No!
What if you have the license plate before?
How?
They
What?
might take it
I'm
away.
drunk driving. I'm drunk driving.
Well, what if you want to
No
change
more
it?
sexy cat on your car.
Oh no way, girl. That is no.
I don't know. I think that they need to be renewed. These are some of the
I think
things
it's a
where, like
joke.
the whole pickle one on the road. I don't
Oh yeah,
know.
and it's illegal to toss bad pickles on the streets of Trenton.
This
Because why not?
we need to take a look at these laws again and kind of
Well,
like,
good thing I don't like pickles. When we come back, Nadia sits down with William Patterson's very own visual arts professor, Michael Rees. Don't touch that remote. Welcome back to the Roundabout. I'm Kelsey Carter, and we're here at Brother Bruno's Pizzeria, William Patterson students' favorite pizza spot. Today, we're gonna learn how to make pizza. Let's go. Hi guys, I'm here with P from Brother Bruno's, and he's gonna teach me how to make a personal plain pie. So what's first?
Ready?
I'm ready.
Take it out of the box. So when you pick it up, keep your thumbs on the crust line.
Hold on, too fast. Like this?
Yep. Keep it nice and controlled.
I have no control.
There you go.
Wait a second. Seriously?
That's it, keep going. It's a personal, you don't have to make it too big. Look at the hole in the middle.
How'd I get that?
With your nice pointy nose. That's a personal, so not too much sauce. Right in the middle. Spill it.
I need extra cheese on mine.
Just nice.
You guys homemade the sauce and everything?
Everything's homemade. Everything's made at Brother Bruno's.
Everything's made for the room.
You're gonna watch. This is the hard part.
Okay.
sure it's loose. Slide it right on.
That's the hard part?
Let me see you do it. Go ahead.
All right.
Not extra cheesy.
All right, I like mine a little extra cheesy. Now the hard part?
It's the hard part. Let's see.
Nervous.
Don't touch anything. It's all very hot. You'll burn yourself.
All right. So you said go like this?
Shake it a little bit. Make sure it's gonna come off. And slide it right off.
Shake it a little bit?
Yeah, bring it in a little bit. There you go. Good. Perfect.
The hard part.
All right, there you go.
So how long does it take to
About 10 minutes to see your final result.
All right, 10 minutes. Look at the spot that's made. Well, thank you, Pete, for showing me how to make a pizza. I think mine might taste a little better, but I guess we'll see. Bye, guys. Wow, that was so fun and easier than I thought. Well, see you guys back at the Roundabout.
I'm Nadia Cruz, and you're watching The Roundabout. Joining me today is visual arts professor Michael Rees, whose artwork has been displayed in museums around the world, such as the Marrone Museum in Germany. In 2008, Professor Rees won a Rockefeller Renew Media Grant for his sculpture project entitled Social Object, which was on display in New York City. He has also been featured at many museums in China, making William Patterson University and the Roundabout extremely lucky to have him here. Thanks for coming, Professor Rees.
Thank you for having me.
So, your sculpture grab bag, did I say that correctly, is displayed in New York City, correct?
Well, it was displayed for about 16 months from 2013 to 2014. It was at Columbus Circle next to the Museum of Art and Design, and it was part of an exhibition there called Out of Hand, Materializing the Post-Digital.
So is this the one I was reading that you can get some type of code and go on and see like an animation
That's
of
right.
it?
As you're walking by the sculpture at Columbus Circle, and also where it is now, it's at Grounds for Sculpture, which is in Hamilton, New Jersey. But as you're walking by the sculpture, you see a code, and you can use your phone to read the code, and what will happen is the animation of the sculpture will show up and dance around, and you realize after a while that some frame of the animation has been turned into the sculpture that's on the pedestal there. So, and
I think that's awesome because I had a lot of people say that they don't think that art and technology go hand in hand. But after I found out that the sculpture like did some type of animated movement, I was like, wow, I feel like that's amazing. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Like, how do you feel about that, people that think that it doesn't go hand in hand?
well, you know, it's interesting because it depends on what era you live in. Because in the Renaissance, they invented perspective. Before that, perspective didn't exist. I mean, they were developing it. They were taking shots at it, but true visual, you know, a full visual field perspective had not been developed. That's technology. It's technology from 1450. It's not today's technology because now we live. So it's natural and normal for artists to be working with and developing and changing the way technology works and the way it impacts us. After all, we're about creating culture.
Speaking about technology, can you tell us a little bit about Blossom? Tell us, who is Blossom?
Blossom is the name that my graduate students have given the 7-axis robot that we have here on campus. It was given to us by an anonymous donor who saw the value of art students being able to both learn high technology like this for all of its possibilities in terms of getting them jobs and integrating into a future economy that has a lot to do with robots. But he also saw the possibility that artists should know and understand the latest technologies, almost to the extent that they might be able to disrupt them or redefine them or use them in ways that were unanticipated by the engineers who developed them. So we're doing both of those things.
Now, do you think that that takes away from the nature of someone actually using their hands to sculpt something? Because it's very different, or do you feel that it's more of like the same type, like you can use your hands and technology?
My approach to this, and the approach that I try to teach my students, is a holistic approach. They should know everything from soup to nuts. So we do work with technology, and technology is very intense. It's not easy to do this. It's very deep and very complicated. But once they've learned that technology, the models come out of the machines, that say the 3D printers, or we carve styrofoam or wood, some cases soft metals. Then they have to work it by hand a little bit further. So the hand is never out of the picture.
How do students get to use Blossom? Do they have to take a class, 2 classes?
Yeah.
How does that work?
Well, I try to make sure that every time a student takes my sculpture and digital media course, they have the opportunity to carve something on Blossom. So there's always assignments geared towards that. The important factor about using any of this technology is that you have to learn how to create digital files that can be carved by Blossom or 3D printed. So that is almost the whole semester. We spend a lot of time learning what is often, well, it's animation and modeling or CAD software. So we spend a lot of time doing that, and we also look at other artists who have worked with it, and we do things like that.
Now, I have a question. Does Blossom do anything else other than sculpt? Does she dance? Does she
I love this. Yes, absolutely. You can come over and make Blossom dance.
Don't tell me that, because I'll come over there.
You're coming. I would like to see it. One of our students did a project that you'd be very interested in. It wasn't exactly a dance, but it's close. James Brem is his name, and when we first got Blossom, what he wanted to do was create a visual effect where Blossom said, "Hello World." So he spelled out with a flashlight on the end of Blossom. He spelled out a great big "Hello World." A little bit geeky, because that's what software designers do the first time they make software, a program that pops up and says "Hello World." But it was really, really fun. So the possibility of doing that is, you're welcome to come over and make Blossom dance.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm going to take you up on that. I'm definitely coming over.
Good.
Remember me.
Hey, this is not going to be hard to do.
Professor Rees is staying with us, but when we come back, we'll take a closer look at Blossom and get a few student opinions about her, and then Professor Rees will show us some of Blossom's works.
America's national forests and wilderness areas are sanctuaries beyond the city limits, where we can relax, rejuvenate, reflect. But our forests are being devastated by disease and fires every year. Now it's up to us to replenish what has been lost. The Arbor Day Foundation asks for your help in replanting our national forests, so they'll be there for us and future generations. Visit arborday.org. See how you can help.
Welcome back to the Roundabout. We had our production crew go to the Power Art Center to see the robot Blossom up close and personal. The crew also got the chance to talk to some students while they were there and ask them how they feel about their new addition.
Hello, and welcome to the Robot Lab in the Center for New Art at William Patterson University. Here is Blossom.
Blossom is a robotic solution KUKA machine. She's a CNC mill.
The robot is controlled by this pendant. We load programs into the pendant, and then we drive the programs from here. So it has some basic programs that it uses frequently, like Go to Home or Change Tool. We choose the program, we select it, and then we hit Run the Program, and we do that here. So in the event of Change Tool, for example, there's a tool already in the robot head. We say change tool, let's say it's number 1. We can change it to number 2 through 9. We program in which tool we'd like to see it change. The robot moves over, comes down, drops the tool off, moves to the next tool location, picks it up, takes it, measures the tip one way, measures the tip the other way, and then returns to home. It's kind of an amazing thing to watch. Maybe a little bit like a dinosaur or an elaborate blossom.
I've made a number of pieces using Blossom. I work a lot with glitch art and data bending and things like that. So making reliefs in Cinema 4D and then translating them to sculptures through the machine is really helpful.
Blossom is a new and more robust way of utilizing CNC milling to make your sculptures. So it's cut down the time needed to mill certain pieces while at the same time adding in new levels of challenge.
We were really lucky. We had an anonymous donor who shared our goals in the creation of this program.
Me and 2 other students got to go to Italy thanks to the anonymous donor. We were there for a month and we were carving marble with a robot. And it was definitely a unique opportunity to be there, and I learned all kinds of things.
Because on one level, art students could come here and work with Blossom, and they would have a skill that they could go into the world and get a job with. And that's kind of an important thing. They're not just studying art, studying philosophy, studying technology. They also can use this skill to make real money in the real world.
I'm really grateful that we have the equipment and the opportunities that we have. It's really a community experience. We're all working together on it.
The robot is a perfect device to pull all that stuff together. On one level, we could do applications development and material research. On the other hand, we could create some kind of science problem and examine it through the robot. And in the third way, and the way that we've garnered a lot of expertise, we can design things, develop them, and manufacture them to exacting specifications.
She's really helped students make larger works. It's really assisted in helping enlarge, I guess, prototypes that are made with the 3D printers and things like that.
I've started scanning these back into a digital form so that I could potentially carve the headdresses out of foam life size and maybe have them be worn for performance.
Excuse me. Professor Rees was kind enough to bring in a few pieces Blossom made with the help of their guest artists. Professor, what can you tell us about these pieces?
Well, we have a variety of approaches to using the robot and then coating them with plaster to bring out certain details and so on and so forth. Over here, this was a grad student, Maria Bovar, and I think this piece speaks a lot about both surrealism and some kind of feeling of dysmorphia in the body. This portrait was, these are all self-portraits, by the way, so people are working with their own visage. And so this portrait over here is a young woman, and I think originally she wanted to make it kind of look like a zombie, The Walking Dead or something like that, but then she kind of pulled it back at the end and made it more expressionistic and more elegant. And then this final piece was from a grad student named Sinead McLeod, and Sinead decided to kind of project way into the future to imagine herself as a science fiction character maybe in 100 or 150 years.
Awesome. So can you tell me how long more does it take to do these sculptures?
Well, first you have the design part. I mean, these things were done with a scanner, so the artists have scanned their own heads with the scanner. Then what they do is they bring them in the software and they paint on them and they bring out details and go away. Again, still virtual. Then once they have their decision, or they've decided how they're going to approach it or what they're going to do, they then take it to another program which teaches the robot how to carve the piece. And so we study that, we look at it, and then once we've simulated that, we send that to the robot, and the robot does exactly what it was taught to do in the software, and it carves these away. Then finally, the artists put their own finishing touches on it by hand.
Awesome, that sounds pretty neat. I like that. So cool. And we can't eat these, right?
No, you can't eat them. No eating, no eating.
I really
Someday.
want one of these. I'm gonna go stop by and get my own. But that's all the time we have for the Roundabout this week, and Shane's 30 Minutes of Fame is now over. A huge thank you to Professor Rees and our executive producer, Loretta McLaughlin-Vignier, and Al Clark, our studio manager. We'll see you next time on the Roundabout.